I was at a stage in life where I had a number of friends, a number of male friends, but I found it very difficult to connect with them on anything other than a footy and pub superficial level. And I wanted a little bit more from companionship and a community, and so I was looking for that, and it was through that process that I found Men Speak online in the meetups and decided to give it a whiz. Initially I was quite reluctant to go into a group of men sitting in a circle talking about important things. It was kind of what I wanted, and it felt kind of very exposed. Kenny put me at my ease very quickly. I realised very early on that everybody was as comfortable or uncomfortable as me, and that helped. Kenny was kind of a reassuring presence. He made an effort to include everybody, and that felt very good. I really enjoy the work I do with Kenny. I enjoy the camaraderie of the group. I enjoy his comparing of the group. I particularly enjoy that he isn't just the facilitator and the enabler, but that he also shows up and participates in the group. If I had to pick 5 words that summed up my experience with Kenny, I would say that it was challenging, it was enlightening, it was fun. There's always a sense of humour there which works for me, and it's meaningful as well. The work I do with Kenny is important because it is more at depth. It helps me to understand who I am and what my journey is. That's a process that I've never really found a means of investigating previously. So I found the work with Kenny to be very helpful for that. For most of my adult life, I have been somebody else's John. I've been a model employee. I've tried to be a perfect husband, a perfect son. That served me pretty well for a number of years, but I never really grew up as a man. I actually always, right up until being nearly 50, always thought of myself as a boy in a grown-up body, and lived with a degree of trepidation about being found out. The work with Kenny has enabled me to get in touch with who I really am, to find my own voice, and to realise that actually being me, being authentic, showing up is what it's all about, and that the time for being a people pleaser, I can call time on that now. I have experienced a change on some levels. I think there's still plenty of opportunity for me to grow further. But it's been very helpful to be around the community that Kenny attracts, and to be, even if I'm hearing expressions that don't actually mean anything to me because they're sort of way over my head, there's definitely a process of osmosis by which those sentiments become absorbed. So people would talk about becoming present, which didn't mean anything to me at the beginning. They would use words like authentic, which sounded great, and I thought, yes, I want to be authentic as well, without really knowing what it means. I found it quite difficult to objectively see my own progress. But people around me say, gosh, you're different. This isn't how you would have responded a year ago. The feedback comes from Kenny, it comes from my wife, it comes from my children. So there may not have been any aha moments for me observing myself, but the results are there in the observations of other people. But I do believe in the work that Kenny does very, very strongly, and where I've met people who remind me of how I used to be, I will always point them in his direction, because I think that what Kenny has to offer people is a tremendous gift. One of the things that the group work has shown me is that I'm not on my own. I'm in a community of men who have all exactly the same neuroses and problems that I do. I'm a far less complicated individual than I thought I was when I didn't have a community of men to share with, but our stories are common. Our problems are shared between us, and we're able to listen to each other and to genuinely understand. And that's a very good feeling for somebody who has felt separate for most of his adult life.
Thanks for watching. To receive more tips and insights, just click on the links below or follow me on Twitter and Facebook, and also go to my website to subscribe to my newsletter.